Although I'm not an official dreamer, because I know you have to forgive me if I'm wrong, but a bit of from what I know is that you have to be considered a dreamer. You have to be a baby, a kid. I'm not sure if a teenager brought to the U.S. unwillingly. Your parents, somebody brought you in, and you were just not conscious about it. In contrast, I was in my late teens. The first time who came to the US to North Carolina was through an exchange visa student program. My ignorant, crazy explorer spirit brought me back to the US, but this second time without a visa. I crossed the Mexican border because a visa was denied to me. And it was more my will than whatever. Please, I urge you not to judge me. Circumstances happened, which I'll explain more in another video. And the facts are those. I was here without the proper documentation, and I did live like a dreamer. I consider myself, when I saw the news, all the gathering together, asking for a waiver, man, you could see me suffer through that TV screen. I was with you all, and I went through similar situations. I did not have my parents or somebody else to blame for. But me. So I had to suck it up. It was savings I got from my student exchange program working at McDonald's in North Carolina. So it was a lot to take in, and it wasn't easy to say just I'm going back home. It was tough. I paid my dues, and I'm still here. I want to thank God. Then I suffered, but now I look back and I want to thank God thank him for not having the right proper documentation then. You'll see why now. I found a way to go to school, get a BBA, and still I couldn't get a proper job. We had all the financial institutions coming to school recruiting students. I would not waste my time going there because I knew I wouldn't qualify. So for some time I focused in my misery and the things I didn't have. One difference from the dreamers was that I had the open idea of just going back home with my US degree, which will open, great job opportunities for me, because I just was holding a US degree. It did not happen again, circumstances. And later I just realized, after, again, I can explain in another video how I went from point A to point B, but just after some time I realized that because I did not have the proper legal documents then to work in the financial industry, I did not get trapped into the rat race trap explained by Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you don't know about it. I was able to open my eyes and see that, thank God, the only rock then who really helped me to go through life, thank God, I'm not a slave of the new economy system. I'm not, thank you, God. Because I shared this point with organizations who promote help to dreamers. They didn't even respond to my requests of wanting to share my experience and point of views with the new dreamers early in their teens. I mean, they needed to hear me, but I was busy again. So until now that I have some time to sit down and share these things. Why? I was still asking myself, why wouldn't they even respond to me? And here's the answer. Whatever their purpose is, they're after the money, you know. I learned later that they somehow fund or get government money to offer dreamers scholarships. So if I'm saying, you know, school really didn't work for me, and you're giving scholarships to dreamers, I'm like, why would they have me there talking, right? Okay, so I'm not saying it's right or wrong to go to school. It's right or wrong to get a job. I mean, I had to get gigs here and there. I had to survive. I wasn't getting government aid or anything like that. I'm saying it's important for you guys, young people, to know what you're doing, and that whatever you're doing it consciously. It's very important. So I see a lot of, you know, generations of immigrants who, I mean, they've had their documentation and everything, who can be experts on X, Y, and Z, who got job offers from Facebook, Google, you name it. But I know we can do more. I mean, don't let fear to stop you from being free, from being the new Zuckerberg. I don't know. I see jobs now babysit you. They have you nice there with the gym, free food. Your apartment is next to the job building. I'm like, I mean, for real. I know you may enjoy doing whatever you're doing, but as long as you're doing consciously again and you're not living a miserable life, good for you. Good for you. So we all have to start somewhere, right? For those who had the luck to get a good job, you have to start at a school, at a job, but then don't let that fear, brainwash, or manipulation to stop you from being free, from being you, from creating. Because this is one of the things the school system doesn't teach you. To, you know, recreate yourself, to be the best of you. They only teach you to follow like chicks, right? To collect data, and that's not good. The current education system is not any good for none of us, especially if you write and read English. I mean, I'll give it credit. I kind of practice my English, right? And kept learning. But I mean, if you write and read English, the system education is just a collection of data nowadays. And I want to reach out really to authorities who are involved in the education department. Guys, you need a little bit more of consciousness. I mean, I don't know where you send your skill. I don't know where you send your kids to school. Maybe to a private school where they do develop something else. Because I've learned this, believe me. We have these two kind of schools. So let's say CUNY, public schools, who teach you to work behind the scenes, behind the desk. And then the private schools who teach you to work and who kind of develop you to work in front of the desk. And from what I've heard, you know, like from public schools, you come out with the brainwash of getting a good job. And from the private schools, you come out wanting to be your own boss. Still you're there. Like if you get sick, you cannot, money is not generating itself. So it's quite a system, quite a brainwash that we have to really analyze and see, okay, if I'm fine with clocking in and clocking out, again, that's good. As long as you're happy with it and not complaining about it and enjoying it, great. But if that's all you know, if you were just involved into that and you then realize like, hey, why don't I open up my own thing? Why don't I create this? You were never encouraged, taught to do those things, right? I've learned from Jewish families that since they are little, every single day they are teaching their kids, they're telling them not to work for anyone but themselves. Like, okay, so it's fine. I see a lot of these kids who go to school and still get a degree, but they end up opening up their own clinic, their own law firm, you know? So things to analyze. And let's not forget, like, because of the new economy, technology, we're losing the connection. See, the identity with ourselves and with Mother Earth. We're drilling holes on the earth, polluting the earth, the water. So one day we will not have anything to eat or drink. I mean, if we die, the earth itself will develop. It'll be fine without us. But it's us who is damaging, killing it. So let's bring up that more consciousness. Stop with the collection data. Stop with the, wanting more. It's 2019 and there are so many ways to gain an income, to do things. I mean, even I know a kid who makes money by just skateboarding. Only in the US, right? You wouldn't do that in South America. And talking about this slavery here, I want to share this point of view because for the last years, I've been hosting people from the whole world. And I love to talk to young people, and I realize they all have the same brainwash. I mean, the system may vary a little bit in Europe because they're a little more conscious about, so they demand maybe less waste of their time. Like per se, if you wanna get a degree in Europe, for most of them it's just 3 years. It'll take only 3 years. 1 full year of theory and the next 2 years full internship. And they manage to travel and do their internships in the US, anywhere in the world where they want. I know Asian students who go to European schools. Not sure about if they pay a high international fee. Sometimes they get scholarships. Okay, so then when they do the internship in the US, the US companies don't pay them, but the schools, the European schools, pay the students for their internship time. Great, I mean, 3 years. What's up in the US? For most careers, bachelor degrees, 4 years. I went to public school. I couldn't afford a private one. I know friends who did and still got the degree and still, nothing. So 4 years, it was like theory, a semester internship, waste of time, money, effort, energy. And wait a second, I don't know about African countries, but from South America countries, they spend 5 to 6 years of their lives in school. just for a regular bachelor's degree. Now, if you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, it's what, up to 10 years of your life. Are you kidding me? So whenever you're in your late 30s, you're gonna start up a life, like start up a relationship. I mean, I know it's a brainwash. You don't have to marry anyone. You don't have to get a house. You don't have to. You can just travel. But isn't it a waste, a huge amount of waste of time? And I don't know, again, like, I mean, it all depends. For certain careers, medicine, okay, and we know they are killing us. We know the medicine industry is killing us instead of treating us and helping us live a long life. So I really go for natural remedies. I don't go for the medical industry. It's really, what are they teaching them? To kill you. And the procedures, and I know you gotta have practice time. They do a lot of internships. I know a lot of doctors go to Spain, the US. I mean, doctors from South America, they wanna go outside and do more studies. And it all depends. To become a lawyer, so many years of collecting data to know how to what, steal, rob, or get away with things. It all is questionable. It's not roses and nice things, but just be aware. Just be aware. And before I keep going off the topic, where am I? Yeah, education system stops us from being free. The current education system, not good, not good, not good. I want to reach out to everyone. Okay, so I was saying I want to reach out to the authorities. Check out Sadhguru. Who is he? A Sikh, a very, very inspirational person who, if you believe me, if you take a retreat with him for a weekend, you will come and renovate the education system once and for all. And hopefully everyone else will copy it. Now, I encourage you, all of you, to search who and what Sadhguru is sharing with us, you know, the importance of the inner development, because it's being, you know, the outer development has been great. Planes, trains, roads. But what about here, this machine? We know nothing about this machine. Yours, in a way, are the same and different. In a way, the same because they do the same job, but different because I experience it from my lenses, which are different from your lenses. So the experience is different, and again, we need to demand real, true education system for ourselves, for our future generations. We cannot keep with this chain of collecting data education system. We have to focus inwards. We have to know ourselves. Only when you know yourself, you can know what to do and how to proceed. We have to identify ourselves with our cosmos. What's that mean? What's that mean? That means that I'm not gonna harm you, my neighbor, because I'll be harming somebody else, or even myself. I'm not gonna harm nature, because I'll be killing myself. With cosmos, you know, we are so insignificant in this cosmos. If I die, who cares? The world, people still will live their life. If somebody important dies, the president, they'll cry for a little while. It'll be big news. It'll be on TV for a week, and then life goes on. We are so insignificant, and we're not conscious about it. We think we are the big deal. Everything has, everybody has to look after me. Come on, live your reality, your life, and live a nice life. Experience a life today. Don't think you have life for granted for years. You don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be up tomorrow. Do you? Your family, your parents? I don't know. We're so much in the tomorrow, in the 5 days planification programming. In 3 years, in 2 years, I want to do this, and that. Why don't you live today? Today. God will know if He wants to give you an extra day. Do you have a guarantee card, something that says you have 10 more years? No. So only when we have this identification with the cosmos and this consciousness of life, only then wars will end. Pollution, crime, brainwashes of any kind will end. So once again, I was not allowed to speak at any of these non-profit organizations. I was not able to share my experiences and thoughts, points of view, because they will help them to get students to become slaves, period. I reach out now, especially to the young dreamers who somehow maybe are not brainwashed yet and are still wondering what to do with your life, who or what is even Sadhguru. I urge you to look it up. It'll fill your inner self as you won't imagine. It's helped me a lot. And believe me, these dream organizations are not here to help you. They are here only because of the money they get. There are tales, stories in many Hollywood movies and now the Netflix series about how one should live, go to school, boyfriend, girlfriend, get a job, a house. That is not your reality. I know that, I understand that, and you can feel very limited, and you should not. Okay? How to live today in your shoes is something the education system does not help. Involve yourself into something. deep in, and you'll know what your skill is and how you can expand it and exploit it and make it work. If you don't know yet, then just involve in something that comes up. As Sadhguru said, you don't have to do what you like. You have to do what is needed. So maybe you're there next to a needed neighbor. I don't know. Maybe he can pay you for your services, right? I know you want to maybe go to law school, but it's not possible now. So just involve yourself into whatever is needed right there to you. You don't need to go to Africa and help them. You're needed where you are. Get involved. Be the best of you. Be of service. You have to be a person of service. And hey, life is awesome. And I know that legal documentation of that is important too. And there is so many help now. Believe me, years before, the New York State was not offering driving licenses. Now it is. Now you can get an IT. There are so many things that weren't able before for any person without documentation to get. I knew a person, they had to go to Maryland to get a driver's license. You don't need a driver's license in New York City. Hey, but you want to do Uber or something. I don't know. There are ways to do it. Stop focusing on your misery. If you keep focusing on your misery, you're dragging a hole that no one can take you out of. And life will be miserable. When you shift and look at first, thank what you have, who you have with you, and thank and use whatever you have with you. Life will be a change, a life turn of 360 degrees. Believe me, do it and live life today. Thanks. Until the next one, comment, subscribe. Do you want to know more of me? What was my life like in school, at job, buying a house? Did I fix or not my legal situation in the US? Man, so many things. How am I not in the rat race trap? Whatever you want to know. Write, subscribe, like, and really I hope you save your energy, your money, your time for productive life that only you will enjoy. Don't go by what it's said, a recipe. You have to do this, and that. Only then you'll be the American whatever. No. Identify with cosmos. Stop identifying yourself with the American. How does an American look like in New York City? I mean, we are all shapes and colors. I won't dye my hair. I won't get contact lenses. I love myself just like this. So if you see me like this is how I do makeup 5 times a year. If you invite me to a wedding party, something. Otherwise, this is me. And I invite you to then listen to my songs that are gonna be below in the description, and they were also inspired based on my experiences. So wish you well. I know you can do anything you want. If you want to paint, if you want to dance, if you want to sing. You don't have to be the dancer, the singer. Just do it. Forget about wanting to be the number one. You're you. If you're the number 100, 1,000, and the number one, you die. Who cares? I mean, you did it. You enjoy it. As long as you enjoy. I mean, I do things because I want to, and they feel. That's it. I may have one view. It doesn't matter. I don't care. They didn't let me speak at these organizations. Okay, now I have the time to do it, and will do it, and hope they'll help you somehow. If this helps even one person, I'll be just 3. See you.